I thought I'd put together a little video of this engraving machine I put together. This is I was inspired by a couple guys off the internet to build one of these. I'm an art teacher, so I like trying new things. Guy named Shaun Hughes and another guy named Rick Alexander have built machines similar to this. I don't have any real machine tools or anything. I've got a drill press, and I managed to put together this handpiece with my drill press from a 5/8 inch bolt and a nut, and then I turned a walnut handle, actually turned it on a 6-inch bench grinder, and still learning how to sharpen the tips. But I built this machine a couple weeks ago, and when I first built it, it worked really good. And then after I added a foot control to it, it didn't work very well at all. And I thought about what was going on, and I changed a few pistons and did some other modifications, and nothing seemed to help. And I finally realized that adding 6 or 8 foot of hose for a pneumatic foot pedal was robbing me of a lot of energy, and the pump didn't seem to be able to push enough air to really make the handpiece hammer like it was before. So I remembered watching a video with Shaun a couple weeks ago, and he had mentioned that it'd be really good to control. He thought it would be a really good idea to control the machine with the actual voltage controller, the motor speed controller. So that's what I did today. I pulled all of the guts out of the foot controller, all the air guts, and I made a bracket, and I bought a $7 bicycle brake line kit, and I made some brackets. I made a bracket for the foot pedal, and I drilled a hole in a bolt, and then I made a bracket for the top of my box, and I ran a cable. I bought a vacuum cleaner belt and a spring and a pulley with a bushing in it at the hardware store, and mounted it all together. And this is the bomb. You turn the pump on. Of course, it doesn't do anything yet because the foot controller isn't being pushed, and the motor's all the way down to 0 right now. But as I push on it, I can control it to where it really starts. Got to turn the pump on first, to where it really starts at a slow speed. And as I push it down more, you can really make her hum. Let off, and it slows down. I had to add a heavier spring to it because it wasn't returning it to 0. And it's a lot easier to control with my foot than it is with my hand. But this thing works great. I don't know how long I don't know if the voltage controller is meant to be used this way, but I figure you're turning up and down the voltage all the time, so it's not going to make that big of a difference, especially when you generally hold it at about the same speed once you're going. Let me look at the inside of this box. This is just a standard box, like I think Rick Alexander put one together like this. It's got the modified compressor in it and a power supply, and a fan, and a speed controller right there, 15 amp speed controller. And then I've got a switch for my fan and a switch for the compressor. And I drilled a bunch of vent holes down there in the bottom. I've got the fan blowing air into the box, so all of the air vents out the back down here. And this thing is working very well now. I'm very happy with it. I've got a really hard piece of brass here, and you can see it's etching into it nice and deep. I've been learning how to sharpen these carbide tips. And I'm not very good at it yet, but I'm getting there. So anyway, I have much practicing to do because I've been building a muzzleloader, and I wanted to do some engraving on the brass parts on the muzzleloader and perhaps even on the lock. So teaching myself how to engrave now, and I'm watching a lot of videos. So I'd like to thank those two gentlemen for all the time they put into making those videos and helping me to build mine. So see ya.